students, welcome back to Career Power Hyderabad, powered by Adda 24/7. So students, this video is weekly section wise revision. So very popular video in our YouTube channel. So this is week 2 of December. So we divided this video into two parts, part 1 and part 2. So do watch part 1 completely, then do watch part 2 also. So part 1 is available in our YouTube channel at morning 9 a.m. and part 2 is available on 5 p.m. every Monday. So before going into the video, please subscribe our YouTube channel, like and share our videos, join the Telegram channel, download the Career Power Hyderabad app. We'll provide the links in the description as well as comment section below. So the first section for today, national news, and the first question for today, PM Narendra Modi has inaugurated and laid the foundation stone for multiple projects worth how many crores in Dehradun, Uttarakhand? So the answer is 18,000 crores. So PM Modi has laid a foundation stone for nearly 18,000 crore projects in Uttarakhand. So they include the Delhi-Dehradun Economic Corridor, the Delhi-Dehradun Expressway to Haridwar, and also Manoharpur to Kangri Expressway Ring Road, and a bridge near Lakshman Jula, and Dehradun Pantan Sahib Road. So these are all the multiple projects which were laid by the PM in Uttarakhand. Okay, and in this he also inaugurated the 120 megawatt YC hydroelectric project over Yamuna River at a cost of 1700 crores and a Himalayan Cultural Center in Dehradun. So all these things are the projects launched by PM Modi. So the Delhi-Dehradun Economic Corridor, which will be built at a cost of 8,300 crores. So this will help to reduce the travel time between Delhi-Dehradun from 6 hours to 2.5 hours. And also Asia's largest wildlife elevated corridor of 12 kilometers is also constructed here for unrestricted wildlife movement. So this will boost the tourism of the state. Okay, so Uttarakhand Governor Lieutenant General Gurmeet Singh, Chief Minister Pushkar Singh Dhammi, Uttarakhand is in news. So remember, very important. Next question, who has been invited to join the board of advisors at the International Institute for Democracy and Electoral Assistance? So International IDEA, it is simply called International IDEA. Who was invited? It is Sunil Arora. So former election commissioner, Chief Election Commissioner Sunil Arora was invited to join the board of advisors at the International IDEA. So International Institute for Democracy and Electoral Assistance. So it's a 15-member board of advisors which was established in 1995. Okay, and it is headquartered in Stockholm, Sweden. So India is one of the founding members. The key mission of this IDEA, International IDEA, is to support sustainable democracy worldwide. Okay, so currently it has 34 member states, countries, and they support the democracy worldwide. Next question. Which institution has launched E-Sawari India Electric Bus Coalition? So who launched this E-Sawari? The answer is Niti Aayog, National Institute of Transforming India. Niti Aayog has launched this E-Sawari India Electric Bus Coalition in partnership with Convergence Energy Service Limited, World Resources Institute India, and support from Transformative Urban Mobility Initiative. So these are all the bodies which have launched this E-Sawari India Electric Bus Coalition. Okay, so the main objective of this initiative is to share the knowledge of various stakeholders like the central government, state governments, transit service providers, original equipment manufacturers on accelerating the process towards seamless adaptation of e-bus services in India. So let us discuss about Niti Aayog, established 2050, headquarters in New Delhi. Chairman is Narendra Modi, Vice Chairman Rajiv Kumar, CEO is Amitabh Kant. Remember, very important, Niti Aayog. Next question. Which ministry has launched the Bhasha Sangam mobile app for teaching a language other than the mother tongue? So the answer is Ministry of Education. So Ministry of Education, the Ministry of State for Education, Subhash Sarkar, he launched the Bhasha Sangam app. So this app is mainly to develop familiarity with common expressions of daily conversation in all the scheduled Indian languages. So the app has 100 plus sentences, okay, available in 22 Indian languages. You can test yourself, you can generate online certificates using this app. So this app aims to foster the spirit of Ek Bharat, Shresth Bharat. Okay, so please remember Bhasha Sangam app, Ministry of Education. Next question, Ministry of Power is celebrating Energy Conservation Week from which day to which day under the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav celebrations? So Energy Conservation Week is celebrated from 8th to 14th December. So 8th to 14th is the Energy Conservation Week by Ministry of Power. So Bureau of Energy Efficiency is conducting 3 major activities like the National Painting Competition for school children, National Energy Conservation Awards for industries, and National Energy Efficiency Innovation Awards for innovative energy efficiency technologies. Okay, so remember, very important. Now we'll go to the international news. First question, who has won the second term as president during the Gambia's presidential election? So who is the new president of Gambia? The answer is Adama Barrow. So Adama Barrow is the second time president of Gambia. So he won with 53% of votes. So Gambia's capital, Banjul, Gambia currency, Dasali, and vice president is Istau Tore. So please remember, very, very important. So here is Gambia in the West African region of the Africa continent, and the flag of Gambia. So it is far away from India in the west side of Africa. Next question, which country has announced that they will not attend the 2022 Winter Olympics in Beijing, China? So which country has announced it will not attend? It is USA. So USA announced that they are doing a diplomatic boycott of the Beijing Winter Olympics. Okay. So Biden administration announced that US officials will not attend the 2022 Winter Olympics, which will be conducted in Beijing, and China said it will take countermeasures for these type of actions. So why US is not participating? Because the US is against the human rights atrocities done by China in their country. So that is why US announced this boycott. Then later Canada, Australia, United Kingdom, they also announced these such type of boycotts. We have a question on that, we'll see it later. Okay. So why did US announce this boycott? Because of the situation in Taiwan and Tibet, the crackdown in Hong Kong, and the abuse of Muslim minority in Xinjiang province. So that is why US announced this diplomatic boycott. So the 2022 Winter Olympics are going to be held from February 4 to 20 in Beijing, China, and US announced that its athletes will participate, but no official from US will attend the Beijing Olympics. So next, German lawmakers have officially elected the Social Democrat as a new chancellor. So German Chancellor Angela Merkel, so she stepped down. You have a new chancellor for Germany. Who is that person? Very, very important. We need to remember Germany, one of the closest allies to India. So very important. Please remember. So the answer is Olaf Scholz. Olaf Scholz is the new chancellor of Germany. So after 16 years of rule by Angela Merkel, now he will be the head of the state. Okay. So he will lead a coalition of parties like the Social Democratic Party, Free Democrats, and Green Party. This 63-year-old Scholz was earlier the vice chancellor and the finance minister under Merkel's administration. Okay, so he achieved the 369 votes which are necessary to form the government. Under Article 63 para 2 of the German Constitution or Weimar Constitution, he was elected the chancellor of the Federal Republic of Germany. So Germany capital Berlin, currency is euro, and the president is Frank-Walter Steinmeier. So remember, Frank-Walter Steinmeier is the president, chancellor is Olaf Scholz. Okay. So this is the flag of Germany, and you can see Germany in the European continent. So this is far away from India. So this is the map. Okay. Next, which of the following country has not included in the diplomatic boycotting of Beijing 2022 Winter Olympics? Who did not boycott this diplomatic boycott? So UK boycotted, Australia boycotted, Canada boycotted, United States boycotted, Russia did not boycott the Beijing Olympics. Okay. So answer is Russia. So Canada, Australia, UK, and United States have boycotted because of the human rights abuses happening in China. So China announced that it will take counter actions, but also these countries have boycotted China. They will not send their officials to the Winter Olympics, which are going to be held from February 4 to 20 in 2022 in Beijing, China. But their athletes can participate in the Olympic Games. So Aung San Suu Kyi, she was sentenced to 4 years jail. She is a prominent civilian leader of which of the following country? So Aung San Suu Kyi, please remember, she is very popular. She is a popular Myanmar leader. So belongs to Myanmar. So Myanmar's outstated civilian leader Aung San Suu Kyi was sentenced to 4 years jail on 2 charges. One, initiating the people towards against the military, and also boycotting the COVID protocol rules. Okay, so that is why she was jailed for 4-year term. So total there are 11 charges on her, which will bring up to a imprisonment of 102 years. So the military government which is present in Myanmar is trying to keep her in jail for lifetime. Okay, so that is why she is in jail. So Myanmar capital Naypyidaw, and currency is Kyat or Kyat. Okay, so please remember. And this is the flag of Myanmar, and India is a bordering country, neighbor country to Myanmar. So the earlier name of Myanmar is Burma. So please remember, very, very important. So the Indian northeastern states of Tripura, Manipur, Mizoram, they do have boundary with Myanmar. So remember, very, very important, our neighbor, so important. Next we will go to states news. So first news, which state chief minister has launched a web portal, Hamara Apna Budget, a mobile app prepared by the state finance department. So which state government has launched this Hamara Apna Budget? So the answer is Jharkhand. So Jharkhand chief minister Hemant Soren has launched this Hamara Apna Budget, launched by the state finance department. So through this app, you can check out the budget of 2022-23 and public can give suggestions on this budget. Okay, so through social media like Twitter, Facebook, WhatsApp, email, you can send your suggestions to the government and government will do consider all these suggestions. So Chief Minister of Jharkhand Hemant Soren and Jharkhand Governor Srimati Draupadi Murmu. So please remember, very very important. Next, which state has left behind Maharashtra to become the country's leading manufacturing hub according to the data released by RBI? So leading manufacturing hub in India, so the answer is Gujarat. So Gujarat is the leading manufacturing hub in India by the data released by the RBI. So Gujarat has a gross value addition in manufacturing grew by 15.9% to 5.11 lakh crores, okay, and Maharashtra has a gross value added grown by 7.5% to 4.34 lakh crores, okay. So Gujarat in first position, second position Maharashtra. What is GVA and GDP? So GDP means the total value of goods and services produced in a country in a particular time period, that is 1 year. So total value of goods and services produced in a country in 1 year is GDP. GVA means the value added to the product to enhance the various aspects of the product. So GVA, gross value added, means value added to the product. Suppose you take example of a paneer butter masala. So paneer is comes under GDP. You add some spices to it, you make a curry, you are adding some value. So then it is GVA, gross value added, okay. So Maharashtra, though Maharashtra is second, it is leading in the service providers. So it's a leading provider of services with the service GVA increased by 12.6% to 15.1 lakh crores. Maharashtra is top in services. So who gave this report? RBI. So RBI established 1935, headquarters is in Mumbai. Governor is Shaktikanta Das. Next question, Kharuvili wetland is declared as the 16th bird sanctuary. It is present in which state? So it is present in the state of Tamil Nadu. So Kharuvili wetland you will find in Tamil Nadu, in the Villupuram district of Tamil Nadu. So it was declared under subsection 1 of section 18 of the Wildlife Protection Act as a bird sanctuary. So this is the second largest brackish water lake in South India after the Pulicat Lake. Okay. So this lake is adjacent to the Bay of Bengal in the east coast of Tamil Nadu, spread over an area of 670 square kilometers, and it accommodates the long distance migrant birds from Central Asia and Serbia. So Tamil Nadu Chief Minister M.K. Stalin and Governor is R.N. Ravi. So remember, very very important. Next, which state government has approved Atmanirbhar Krishak Development Scheme for boosting the agriculture sector? So Atmanirbhar Krishak Development Scheme was launched by Uttar Pradesh. So Uttar Pradesh government is bringing this scheme. So this scheme, under this scheme, 1475 farmer producer organizations will be established in the next 3 years. So they will be provided long-term debt financing facility, mainly to invest in viable projects for post-harvest management infrastructure and the community. So 1 lakh crore will be given by banks and financial institutions to the primary agriculture credit societies, market cooperative societies, self-help groups, farmers and joint liability groups for the development of post-harvest infrastructure. Okay. And also this scheme has interest subvention of 3% up to a limit of 2 crores. Interest subvention means if you are paying interest in time, so bank will give you this interest subvention scheme of 3%. So you need not pay that amount. You will be given reduction in the amount you need to pay. So this scheme is funded through the Agriculture Infrastructure Fund. So UP Governor Anandabhen Patel, Chief Minister is Yogi Adityanath. Next question, which state Chief Minister has launched a Milk Price Incentive Scheme? So Milk Price Incentive Scheme was launched by Uttarakhand. So I said Uttarakhand is quite in news. So Uttarakhand has launched Milk Price Incentive Scheme. Under this scheme, incentives are provided to people of Uttarakhand. Nearly 53,000 people are benefited by this scheme. It's a direct benefit transfer, direct bank transfer scheme where money will be deposited in the beneficiaries' bank accounts. Okay, so and also the state government is planning to spend 444 crores to open 500 milk sale centers in Uttarakhand. So please remember, Uttarakhand Governor Gurmeet Singh, Chief Minister Pushkar Singh Dhami. Next question, which river basin is associated with Haidarpur wetland? So Haidarpur wetland is associated with the river Ganga. So this Haidarpur wetland, okay, which is present in Uttar Pradesh, is now recognized as a Ramsar site. So UP has total now 9 Ramsar sites. So this Haidarpur wetland is present in the Madhya Ganga barrage, which is near to the Madhya Ganga barrage, about 10 kilometers from Bijnor in the west Uttar Pradesh. Okay, it is now recognized as a Ramsar site. So this wetland is identified under the Namami Ganga project to be the model wetland along the Ganga river. So with this Ramsar site, there are total now 47 Ramsar sites in India. So this site will support 25,000 water birds. They act as a breeding center for near threatened Indian grassbird and refugee camp to swamp deers, and also a house for grey goose and bar-headed goose. So this is about the Haidarpur wetland. So let us discuss about Ramsar Convention on Wetlands. It's a treaty for the conservation and sustainable use of wetlands. So this is named after Ramsar, a city in Iran, and it was signed on February 2nd, 1971, and February 2nd is celebrated as World Wetlands Day. Now what is wetland? So wetland is an area where water is a primary factor controlling the environment and the associated plant and animal life. So here these wetlands occur where water table is at or near the surface of land, or where land is covered by water. What are the examples of wetlands? Like marine and coastal areas, estuaries, lakes and rivers, marshes and peatlands, groundwater and human-made wetlands like rice paddies, shrimp ponds, reservoirs, all these come under the wetlands category. So wetland means you will control the environment and the associated plant and animal life is called a wetland. Okay. So next we'll go into appointments, very important topic. The first question, Alka Upadhyaya is appointed as the chairperson of which of the following body? The answer is National Highway Authority of India. So Alka Upadhyaya, 1990 batch IAS officer, is appointed as the chairperson of National Highways Authority of India. Sanjay Pantopadhyaya is now the chairman of Inland Waterways Authority of India. And also Sundeep Kumar Naik is the Director General of National Productivity Council. So these are the new appointments made recently. Let us discuss about National Highway Authority of India, established in 1995, headquartered in New Delhi. It is responsible for the management of network of 50,000 kilometers of national highways. It is the nodal agency of Ministry of Road Transportation and Highways. And National Highway Authority of India has signed recently an MOU with ISRO for satellite mapping of highways in the country. So remember about NHIA, very important. Next, OYO Room has appointed whom as their strategic group advisor. So OYO appointed whom as their strategic group advisor? It is SBI former chairman Rajneesh Kumar. So Rajneesh Kumar is always in news. Please remember this personality, very important. He is the strategic group advisor for OYO now, OYO Rooms or OYO Hotels and Homes. Okay. So currently he is on the board of HSBC, Asia Pacific, L&T Infotech. Last week only we discussed Hero MotoCorp and BharatPe. So OYO Rooms was launched in 2013, headquartered in Gurugram, Haryana, and the CEO and the founder is Ritesh Agarwal. Very popular personality. So please remember. Next, who was they appointed as the brand ambassador of Kinara Capital? So the brand ambassador of Kinara Capital is Sir Ravindra Jadeja is the brand ambassador of Kinara Capital. Kinara Capital provide loans to India's MSMEs, micro, small, medium industries. So until now it disbursed nearly 70,000 collateral free loans. Okay, under the assets under management, it has 1,000 crores. So Kinara Capital plans to grow by 500% by 2025. So that is why they appointed Ravindra Jadeja as the brand ambassador. So Kinara Capital established in 2011, headquartered in Bengaluru, Karnataka. Next, who is appointed as the brand ambassador of mobile accessories brand Unex? So the answer is Jasprit Bumrah. So Jasprit Bumrah is the brand ambassador of Unex, who produce electronic items like chargers, earphones, data cables, power banks, wireless speakers, smartphone batteries, Bluetooth neckbands, all these things. So they have they wanted to develop their business in India. So that is why they appointed Jasprit Bumrah as their brand ambassador. So Unex Electronics formed in 2006, headquarters is in Mumbai. Next question, Board of Directors of Ujjivan Small Finance Bank appointed whom as the MD and CEO of the bank? So who is the new MD and CEO of the bank? It is Itira Davis. So Itira Davis is the new MD and CEO of the Ujjivan Small Finance Bank. So Davis has been appointed MD CEO for a period of 3 years. Earlier he worked for Ujjivan Financial Services Limited from 2018 to 2021. Now he will work for the Ujjivan Small Finance Bank. So Ujjivan Small Finance Bank established 2017, headquarters in Bengaluru. Next, FICCI, Federation of Indian Chambers of Commerce and Industry, appointed whom as their president? So FICCI appointed whom as their president? The answer is Sanjeev Mehta. So Sanjeev Mehta is the just a minute. Sanjeev Mehta is the new president of Federation of Indian Chambers of Commerce and Industry. So Sanjeev Mehta currently the CMD of Hindustan Unilever Limited. So he earlier worked as the senior vice president. Now he will work as the president of FICCI. Okay. So FICCI is a non-governmental trade association and advocacy group based in India. It is mainly established on the advice of Mahatma Gandhi and J.D. Birla, and also advised by Mahatma Gandhi and established by G.D. Birla and Purushottam Das Thakur Das in 1927, headquartered in New Delhi. So the president is Uday Bhaskar. Now he will be replaced by whom he will replace by Sanjeev Mehta. So these are all the appointment news. Now we'll go to schemes. Only one scheme. She is a change maker program was launched by National Commission for Women. Who is the chairman of National Commission for Women? So the answer is Rekha Sharma. So Rekha Sharma is the chairman of National Commission for Women. So here is a picture of her. So she is a change maker, is mainly for women representatives at all levels, from Gram Panchayati to parliamentary members, from political workers, from the office bearers of national state political parties. So this program was launched by Rekha Sharma. This program is mainly to improve the leadership skills of grassroots women political leaders. Let us discuss about National Commission for Women. It's a statutory body mainly to advise the government on policy matters affecting women. Established in 1992 because of the National Commission for Women Act, and it is headquartered in New Delhi. You know the chairperson is Rekha Sharma. Next is summits. Only one question in this summits. What is the theme of 5th Indian Ocean Conference? What is the theme of 5th Indian Ocean Conference? The answer is Indian Ocean, Ecology, Economy, Epidemic. So this is the theme for 5th Indian Ocean Conference. So this conference was held in Abu Dhabi, United Arab Emirates between December 4 to 5th, and theme for this conference is Indian Ocean, Ecology, Economy, Epidemic. So this conference is chaired by the Sri Lankan President Gotabaya Rajapaksa, and Vice Chairman of this conference is Jaishankar, who is our Indian Foreign Minister, Vivin Balakrishnan from Maldives, and Syed bin Ahmed from United Arab Emirates. Okay, so this conference is mainly to deal with the challenges faced by the Indian Ocean due to the effects of pandemic, economic decline and climate change. So this conference was organized by India Foundation in collaboration with the Rajaratnam School of International Studies, Singapore, Institute of National Security Studies, Sri Lanka, and the Emirates Center for Strategic Studies and Research, UAE. So Vivin Balakrishnan belongs to Singapore. Sorry to say, he is not from Maldives, he is from Singapore. Okay. So Singapore, Sri Lanka, United Arab Emirates and India, they conduct this Indian Ocean Conference. 5th edition was conducted in United Arab Emirates. Okay. Now we'll see awards, very important topic, awards. So important award. So which project in India won the UNESCO Asia Pacific Award for Cultural Heritage Conservation? So this project in India won 2 awards totally. So the answer is Nizamuddin Basti in New Delhi. So Nizamuddin Basti in New Delhi won 2 awards under the UNESCO Heritage Awards categories. Okay. So this particular project is a revival project for restoration of 20 historic movements which surrounds the Sufi saint building of the Hazrat Nizamuddin Ahulya. So there you will find this Nizamuddin Basti renovation project. So this project won awards under the Award of Excellence and Special Recognition for Sustainable Development. Let us discuss about this Nizamuddin Basti. It's a settlement around the tomb of notified Sufi saint Hazrat Nizamuddin Ahulya. Okay, so who settled in Delhi near the tributary of river Yamuna, and this area is called Hazrat Nizamuddin Basti. So they have a lot of 14th century monuments, and recently a revival project was done to preserve all these monuments. So here is the list of winners. So UNESCO Asia Pacific Award for Cultural Heritage Conservation is given in 5 categories. First one is Award of Excellence, the second one is Award of Distinction, the third is Award of Merit, fourth is New Design in Heritage Context. So finally, Special Recognition for Sustainable Development. So in 5 categories awards are given. So this UNESCO Asia Pacific Heritage Awards were given since 2000, okay, mainly by the UNESCO in the region of Asia Pacific to motivate for the protection of these heritage sites. So UNESCO, United Nations Educational, Scientific, Cultural Organization, a specialized agency of UN, it seeks to build peace through international cooperation in education, sciences and culture. So UNESCO established 1945, headquartered in Paris, France, and Director General is Andrew Azoulay. So remember, very important. So next question, name the Indian American mathematician who won the first Cyprian Foyce Award in operator theory, which was presented by the American Mathematical Society. So who won the Cyprian Foyce Award? So it is won by Nikhil Srivastava. So Nikhil Srivastava along with Adam Marcus and Daniel Spillman. So these 3 people have won the first Cyprian Foyce Award, which was presented by the American Mathematical Society. So the total cash prize $5,000 is presented to these 3 people for their work in developing and introducing techniques to understand the characteristic polynomial of matrices, including the iterative specification method. Okay, So Nikhil Srivastava, not only this is his first ever, earlier he won the George Poley Prize in 2014, held prize in 2021. This is the third prize for this Indian mathematician Nikhil Srivastava. So let us discuss about the Cyprian Foerst Prize, which was given in operator theory. So mainly for the preceding 6 years who have worked in mathematics, they will be given this award. This prize was launched in 2020 in the memory of Cyprian Foerst, who is a popular mathematician, and the prize award of this is $5,000, and this award will be given every 3 years. So this award is presented by the American Mathematical Society. So it's an organization, association of professional mathematicians dedicated to the interest of mathematical research and scholarships. Okay, so it is established in 1888 and headquartered in Providence, Rhode Island, USA. Next is about Jnanpith Award. So the 56th Jnanpith and the 57th Jnanpith awards were announced. So 56th Jnanpith award went to Neelmani Phukan Jr. So Neelmani Phukan Jr. won the 56th Jnanpith award. Damodar Mozho won the 57th Jnanpith award. So this is the country's highest literature award. So it is given to writers for their outstanding contribution to literature. So Jnanpith award is presented by the Bharati Jnanpith organization to Indian writers every year. So first it was awarded in 1965 to Indian writers who write in Indian languages and English. So Bharati Jnanpith is a literacy and research organization established in New Delhi in 1944 by Sahu Shanti Prasad Jain of the Sahu Jain family and his wife Rama Jain to undertake systematic research and publications of various old Indian languages like Sanskrit, Prakrit, Pali, all these languages. Okay, so Jnanpith Award 56th is given to Neelmani Phukan Jr. 57th award went to Damodar Mozho. So this is the question. Who won the 57th Jnanpith Award? Damodar Mozho won the 57th Jnanpith Award. So please remember, very, very important. Next, the Royal Institute of British Architects. So they have announced the 2022 Royal Gold Medal. So this went to which of the following? So it went to Balakrishna Doshi. So Indian architect Balakrishna Doshi has won the Royal Institute of British Architects 2022 Gold Medal, which is presented since 1848. It is given to persons who have excelled in the field of architecture. So Balakrishna Doshi is popular for his administrative and cultural buildings, educational facilities, housing developments and residential buildings. So some of his projects include the Shreyas Comprehensive School Complex, Ahmedabad School of Architecture, Indian Institute of Management in Bengaluru, and the Aryan Low Cost Housing. So these are the projects of Balakrishna Doshi. So please remember. Next we will go to banking news. There are 3 important questions. So Amazon Web Services have partnered with which of the following to offer startup toolkit for entrepreneurs. So Amazon Web Services has partnered with Paytm to launch this startup toolkit for early stage Indian startups. Okay, so Paytm will help the entrepreneurs to grow business with payment, distribution and growth solutions who are operating in India. So Amazon Web Services will support this particular startup toolkit. Okay, so this will provide Paytm mini apps which developers, okay, to help the startups enhance their brand visibility and to grow their customer base. This Paytm startup toolkit will provide access to the Paytm mini apps, which will enable the developers to set up low cost, quick to build mini apps which can be built using open source technologies like HTML and JavaScript. So Paytm established 2010, headquarters is in Noida. CEO is Vijay Shekhar Sharma, who is also the founder. So Amazon Web Services, it's a subsidiary of Amazon providing onboard cloud computing platforms and application programming interfaces to individuals, companies and governments. Okay, so this Amazon was established in 1994, headquartered in Seattle, Washington State, USA, and founder, Jeff Bezos, very popular personality. So next question, the Small Finance Bank has an agreement with the fintech firm India Gold to launch first loan against digital gold. So the Small Finance Bank has an agreement with India Gold to launch loan against digital gold. So what is the answer? So the answer is Shivalik Small Finance Bank. So Shivalik Small Finance Bank has an agreement with India Gold to launch India's first loan against digital gold. So in this agreement, so people who are having digital gold in this India Gold app, so they can put that as a mortgage and they can take loans from the Shivalik Small Finance Bank. So loans up to 60,000 rupees will be given with a interest rate of 1%, monthly interest rate of 1%, very low interest rate. Shivalik Small Finance Bank will provide loans to customers. So Shivalik Small Finance Bank established 2020, headquartered in Noida, Uttar Pradesh. Earlier it's a cooperative society, multi-state cooperative society, recently turned into a small finance bank. So please remember, they have 23 years of experience in the banking sector. So next term, which of the following became the first certified tokenization service for the NPCI tokenization system to support the tokenization of RuPay cards? Okay, so first certified tokenization service is provided by PayPay. So remember, PayPay is providing first certified tokenization service. What is tokenization of cards? So tokenization of cards is nothing but storing card details with merchants. Okay, so these card details will be stored using token reference on file. Okay, using this methodology, they'll use this token reference of file methodology to store the card details. So this token reference on file will create a 16-digit number called token. So instead of saving the card details, merchants will save these 16-digit numbers. Suppose if this 16-digit number is exposed, this number doesn't have any value, you cannot steal the data of customers. So that is why the National Payments Corporation of India has launched this tokenization system, and PayPay has launched the first authorized tokenization service. So PayPay launched in 2015, headquartered in Pune. So please remember, very important. Now we'll see the banking news. Okay, banking news very important for the upcoming bank SSC, bank mainly SBI and IBPS exams. Okay, so first private Infinity, it's the country's first standalone metal debit card in partnership with Visa. Is launched by which bank? So who launched this metal debit card? So the answer is IDFC First Bank. So IDFC First Bank has launched this metal debit card. So this first private Infinity is a lifetime free card. So mainly provided for the customers who are part of their first private program, Premier Savings and Wealth Offering. Okay, so this card has a lot of facilities in it. So they have seamless online account opening process, video KYC, new age digital platform for mobile and net banking, and easy to navigate interface. All these things you will find is in this card. Okay, so IDFC First Bank established 2015, headquarters is in Mumbai, CEO is Vaidyanathan. Bank tagline is always you first. Please remember, very important. So next, which bank has launched Pride CRMD module app for differently abled employees? So this bank has launched this Pride CRMD module for their employees, differently abled employees. So the answer is Punjab National Bank. So Punjab National Bank has launched this Pride CRMD module for the differently abled employees. So it's a toolkit, okay, mainly which will have a talkback software. It will allow the visibly impaired to access the system freely and to interact with customers by tapping on their phones. So Punjab National Bank established 1894, headquarters is in New Delhi. The current MD and CEO is Mallikarjun Rao. Tagline is the name you can bank upon, Punjab National Bank. So remember, very important. Next, in collaboration with NPCI, so which bank has launched on the go wearable keychain? So with the collaboration with NPCI, who launched this wearable keychain? The answer is City Union Bank. So City Union Bank along with NPCI and its manufacturing partner Seshasai has launched the RuPay on the go contactless wearable keychain. So this wearable keychain will enable the customers to tap and make cashless payments securely. So up to 5,000 rupees using this keychain you can do payments. Okay. So City Union Bank established 1904, headquarters in Kumbakonam, Tamil Nadu. City Union Bank tagline is trust and excellence since 1904. So National Payments Corporation of India, it's an umbrella organization for retail payment system in India, set up by RBI and the Indian Banks Association, established in 2008 and headquarters is in Mumbai. So do remember all these points. Next question, RBI recently imposed restrictions on which state's Nagar Urban Cooperative Bank? So Nagar Urban Cooperative Bank is headquartered in Maharashtra. In Ahmednagar, Maharashtra, you will find Nagar Urban Cooperative Bank. RBI has imposed restrictions on this bank. So it includes restrictions on withdrawals up to 10,000 rupees for customers under subsection 1 of section 35A of Banking Regulation Act and also section 56 of Banking Regulation Act. Restrictions are imposed for 6 months. So bank should not, without the prior approval of RBI, grant or renew any loans or advances, make any investment, incur any liability, disburse any payment, transfer or otherwise dispose any of their properties or assets. So bank will continue to undertake banking activity with restrictions till the financial position improves. Okay. So Nagar Cooperative Bank established 1910, headquartered in Ahmednagar, Maharashtra. The bank tagline is one family, one bank. Next, which bank was given the scheduled bank status by RBI? Scheduled bank status was given to the Paytm Payments Bank. So Paytm Payments Bank has received the scheduled bank status from RBI, and now it is included in the second schedule of RBI Act of 1934. This will bring more financial services and products available to the customers. So bank currently has 33 crore Paytm wallets, and bank customers can make 87 payments at 87,000 online merchants and 2 crore in-store merchants. So bank with this scheduled status can explore new business opportunities. They can participate in the marginal standing facility rate. They can be eligible to be a partner in government-run financial inclusion schemes, and they can innovate further and they can also bring more financial services and products to the underserved and unserved regions in India. So the chairman of bank is Vijay Shekhar Sharma. MD CEO is Satish Kumar Gupta. Established in 2015, headquartered in Noida, UP. Next question. So which bank has a bank assurance partnership with Star Health Alliance? So which bank had partnered with bank assurance partnership with Star Health Alliance? The answer is Federal Bank. So Fed Bank. So Federal Bank and Star Health Alliance will now have bank assurance partnership. What is bank assurance? As we discussed, it is an agreement between bank and insurance company that will enable them to offer insurance products to bank customers. Now Star Alliance will provide its insurance products to the 8.9 million customers of the Federal Bank. So Federal Bank established 1931, headquartered in Aluva, Kerala. MD CEO is Shram Srinivasan. Tagline is your perfect banking partner. Star Alliance established in 2006 and headquartered in Chennai. So do remember all these points, very very important. Now we'll see the economy news. So S&P Global Ratings has projected India's GDP for financial year 22 at how much percent? It is 9.5%. S&P Global for financial year 2022 is 9.5%. Okay, so please remember, for financial year 22, that is this year, 9.5%. For a financial year 23, it is 7.8%, and for financial year 24, it is 6%. So please remember, very very important. So S&P established 1860, headquartered in New Delhi. Moody's, Standard & Poor, Fitch Ratings are the top 3 credit rating agencies in the world. Next, Goldman Sachs. So Goldman Sachs estimated India's GDP growth rate as how much in 2022? So Goldman Sachs estimated 9.1%. So Goldman Sachs is estimating 9.1%. In 2020, it estimated 7%. In 2021, it estimated 8%. This year, it is estimating 9.1%. Goldman Sachs is an American multinational investment bank and a financial service company. It is established in 1869 and headquartered in New York. Finally, Fitch Ratings. So Fitch Ratings is estimating how much growth rate in financial year 2022. So Fitch Rating is estimating 8.4%. So Fitch Rating is estimating 8.4%. And next year it is estimating 10.3%. Okay. So please remember. So Moody's, Standard & Poor and Fitch, as I said, they are the top 3 credit rating agencies in the world. So Fitch Ratings was established in 1914, headquartered in New York, USA, and the subsidiary of Fitch Rating is present in India called INDRA, India Credit Rating Agencies. So last week we discussed about INDRA. So please remember, very very important. Okay. So this is part 1 of the video. So we'll have part 2. Watch this part 1. From agreements till miscellaneous news, we have part 2. So do watch also part 2. Please subscribe our YouTube channel, like and share our videos, join the Telegram channel, download the Career Power Hyderabad app, and we have fresh batches every Monday. So do contact the phone numbers of the branches, Dilshuk Nagar, Amirpet, Kokatpalli, or you can visit the branch, you can clarify all your doubts. So thank you students, we'll meet in